Welcome to another episode of Millennial Investing Explained. Here's today's question. Arguably more than ever that people are putting the blame on everybody else rather than themselves and taking responsibility for it. How can and should someone fix this type of dynamic in their life?
First of all, I don't buy into that society is doing this to me, right? I don't buy into that. I've turned out the way I've turned out because of certain agreements that I've made along the way. Like I might have agreed with what somebody else said. I might have said I don't agree, but somewhere in here I agreed, right? So if somebody says you're a loser, and somewhere in here I went, yes, I am. So I don't kind of ascribe to the notion that there's some kind of big influence outside me that's working to kind of dominate me. I don't ascribe to that. First of all, I just don't think human beings are that smart that they're all getting together to get at me, and it's all coordinated, However, I am influenced, but I'm the influenced. Like it's up to me what I'm influenced by. So I don't blame people, for instance, for blaming other people. I don't think that's the shock of the universe, right? Like, oh my gosh, you blame other people? When did you start that? I mean, it's kind of how we do this life. We grow into an environment where we learn accepting responsibility as some kind of burden. It means I'm to blame for something or I'm in trouble, right? Which is not the responsibility that I talk about. The responsibility that I talk about is much more akin to ownership. Like I might not have had a say in a lot of the stuff that's happened in my life, but I have the say about where this is going now, or how this unfolds in front of me. And it feels like I'm up against it. I'm probably not up against it, but it certainly feels like I'm up against societal conversation for people that have been victimized, right? I'm somehow not compassionate for people that have been victimized when nothing could be further from the truth. There's a massive difference between being victimized about something and then becoming a victim as a way of life. So I can be the victim of something for sure, right? But the thing is, does it become a way of life? And for those people that it has become a way of life, I assert they don't want to live that way. They kind of got stuck that way. And that's where I come along. I come along to give people an alternative to getting out of whatever situation or stuckness they've gotten themselves into.
Jocko Willink wrote the book Extreme Ownership, where, he talks about taking extreme ownership of your responsibilities and things like that. So this idea of not blaming others and really taking responsibility and not being the victim of things help people achieve their potential in business.
My success has got nothing to do with you. Whether I'm successful or not has got nothing to do with you. And I mean like nothing. And my accomplishments in life, I don't need permission for them. So I'm not out to make somebody like me or something. I'm not out to have your agreement to my success. I do things in such a way that you have no choice but to buy it. You don't experience any choice. You feel as if now you have to buy it because it's so what I want it to be, right? So that includes my books or my videos or those kind of things. I know people will respond to it because I made it that way. I made it so that it would speak to you, like it would really get to you, and not in a kind of superfluous way, but it resonates with you. So there's no, I'm not trying to get somewhere. I really don't have that experience of in life where I'm here and I'm trying to get over there. My experience in life is that I'm at work on just presenting an unstoppable case for what I'm doing. And I just keep doing that every day. It's just an unstoppable case for what I'm doing. Now, if you think about business, if a major business took on, and I always start at the end of everything I do, I start at the end. Okay, I start with, there I am, it's done. Okay, what am I doing right now that's aligned with that, right? Or what's in the way right now of that thing? I mean, I have a lot of failures, but I don't have the experience of that I'm up against anything. I certainly don't ascribe to things like luck. I mean, I do ascribe to timing a little. Sometimes the timing's not right. But ultimately, my success and everybody who's listening to this right now, you're the only one that's going to make it happen. And sometimes you have people that don't agree with you. Sometimes people advise you in something else and think you should do this and that and this. And this is all fine. But ultimately, your success, it's on you and it's down to you. And you're either going to come from this space of like this kind of unstoppable force of nature that just relentlessly keeps putting out. And again, in business, it would be like, am I taking the actions that are consistent with the outcome that I said would happen? Or am I getting distracted? Am I following in am I down another rabbit hole, which we do? Am I continually, every day, as I call it, revealing the future that I created? Am I revealing it? Or is it still out of touch? Is it a little closer? Is it a day closer? Is it 2 weeks closer? So I view success as just all a matter of when. It's nothing to do with if it happens or not now.
That's all for this episode of Millennial Investing Explained. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, or subscribe to our YouTube channel to get even more free content.